This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks, and in today's lesson we will talk about question number 2 of Global Perspectives written exam. As we all know that this is the component number 1, and here is the list of 22 topics. As I explained you people that you people will be given the paper out of these 22 topics. So what you need to do, you are supposed to learn the skills rather than knowing everything about these topics. So I'm going to start the question number 2 now. Yesterday I talked about question number 1, and that video is available on my channel. You can go through that one so that you can be able to prepare question number 1 really very excellently. And now here is the question number 2. As I was telling you people the paper pattern yesterday, question number 2 consists of 2 parts, A and B, and in A part we are asked to find out the strengths and weaknesses of any of the argument given in source 3. So this is really very important that question number 2 is related to source 3 only, nothing else. So it means that you are not supposed to focus on any other source for the sake of attempting whole of question number 2, whether it is part A or B. You are supposed to be stick to source 3. So it means that here you are supposed to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the argument. So if we go to the source 3, here we have source 3 with us, and here is the source 3. So it is a small sort of extract. It can be from any of the newspaper, it can be from any of the blogs, it can be from any of the articles, it can be from any of the speeches and the conference proceedings, or any of the address by any person anywhere. So this is a small sort of extract of something given. So as said, that the dark side of e-commerce, how jobs are being lost in the digital era. So this is the you can say the punchline of this particular extract, and this is a 3-paragraph extract given in source 3, and you are supposed to analyze that what are the strengths of this argument. You are not supposed to tell about the e-commerce or job loss or what. You are supposed to analyze whole of this argument, that how strong or how weak the whole of this argument is. On what basis? Let's go to the question. So if I go to the marking scheme of the same question, you will find out that so here is the marking scheme of question number 2. Explain the strengths and weaknesses of the research outlined in source 3. So what you need to do, you are supposed to focus on the highest level, and that is level number 4, and you are supposed to keep in mind this thing to attempt this question. Reasoned explanation of a wide range of evaluative points, including both strengths and weaknesses. Explanations are credible, supported, and clearly related to the purpose of the research given in that particular source. So this is the rubrics. I mean, this is related to the assessment objective 1, that you are supposed to having the research into current global issues. So you are supposed to evaluate. It means that your evaluative skills are being studied or evaluated over here, assessed over here. So you are supposed to be with this one having the really good assessment of this one. So here you can talk about the strengths of this question. What is the clear purpose of the research? Whether the research outlined in that extract is really very much focused. I mean, the person who has given that extract, was the research was really very clear, and research was reliable as it was published in a research journals in some article. As we go to the insert, we will find out that An extract from an abstract of a research article, I mean the someone's research published in a research journal in some research magazine in Europe in 2020. So this is the caption for this whole of the source given over here in these three paragraphs. So this shows that this work is by some expert person who is a researcher, and he or she has written this research article, and this article is published in some research journal in some European country in 2020, and this is some part of it, the extract of this one. So marking scheme I was telling, so you are supposed to tell that whether the research is clear or not, or the research was reliable as it was published in a research journal. Every research journal publishes the research of the researchers until or unless that is really very much credible. They do not publish anything unreliable. They do not publish anything plagiarized. So more likely it is the secondary research. I mean the research, if you know exactly the meanings of what is meant by the primary research and secondary research, it means that whenever you conduct some research by yourself, I mean, you take the surveys, you take the interviews, you gather the data, whatever, through by your own means, that is known as the primary research. But whenever you read out the research of the other people, what they have done, and you gather the data from their research, what we call the literature review, so that is known as the secondary research. So if we study whole of this extract, we find out that the research is the secondary sort of research. I mean, in this whole of the extract, it is not mentioned that I took the interviews of the people to gather the data, and I took conducted the survey for the sake of gaining the public perspective on the issue of the job loss because of the e-commerce. So it means that there is nothing like that. So it means that the person has not conducted primary research, but he has taken the data from some research. United States alone, over 100,000 retail jobs were lost in 2023 as told by ILO. So it means that he has studied certain reports, he has gone through certain data of the global organizations, and he talked about certain companies' data on their websites. So it means that he has conducted secondary research rather than primary research. Okay, so in this particular phase, you might have got the difference between the primary research and secondary research. Going back over here, now this shows that whole of this extract carries secondary research. So recent statistical data of US is given, validity becomes easier. So it means that the data is given over here, as I already nominated, that the United States data over this one, statistical data, and it is of 2023. So it means that this particular extract contains the recent data of United States. So it means that the whole of the research can be considered as reliable as recent data is available over here. Then diverse perspectives are given in the extract. If you read out whole of this this extract, you will find out this is whenever you talk about the United States, so it means that the national perspective is also given over here, right? And then if we talk about certain other factors, proponents of e-commerce, however, point out that it creates new jobs in technology, digital marketing, and delivery services. Companies that, I mean, these are the global companies delivering the products around the globe. So it means that you can say it is the global perspective given over here, and this is related to the whole of the world. And then while rise of the e-commerce has undeniable benefits such as so the global organization data is also given over here. Again, the global perspective is given. So it means that whole of this extract contains multiple perspectives of United States and the whole of the world. So it means that it is really very good one. Diverse perspectives are over there. Looks like research by some expert researcher. Yes, as I told you that the expert researcher's research is published in the research journals, but not of any ordinary people.
The source of evidence is clearly related to the research purpose. The evidences are given regarding the companies, Amazon, and the statistical data of the United States, and the reference from the global organization, I mean International Labour Organization, ILO. So they all are given, uses a reference of United States and ILO as a given, and this is the reliability of the research, that the research conducted is really very much reliable and authentic. So highlights the widespread job losses and their socioeconomic aspects. So it means that the whole of the research is really very much comprehensive, balances criticism with acknowledgement of a new job creation in technology and logistics sector, reflects a global view by addressing both developed and developing countries, and other related responses they all are given. So it means that this particular extract over here in source 3 carries many of these strengths over here. So all these strengths are highlighted, and if you explain these strengths over here, reasoned explanation of a wide range of evaluative points including both strengths. So it means that you have explained the strengths of this argument as given over here in these points, and now you are supposed to give the weaknesses as well. You can write it over there that no doubt the extract is having so many strengths, it also carries some weaknesses as well, which are underlined as no clearly stated research question. So every research should have some research question. As you all know that you people are conducting research in your individual reports and you have designed a research question at the top. So only one research method, I mean literature review, the research of the previous organizations or countries or websites or the companies he has taken. So it means that only literature review is conducted, no primary research method is used, only secondary research is given over here. Few more citations could be given to prove the authenticity of the research. So it means that he has given only one citation from United States data and one citation is from ILO, International Labour Organization, and one citation is of Amazon, I mean some companies. So it means that 3 citations are given in that particular extract. It says that few more citations could be given to prove the authenticity of the research. So it means that this is the weakness, that it carries less citations, right? So weakness. And only one research method, literature review, is used. Again, this is the big flaw or weakness. No primary methods are used, only secondary methods. Could talk about other methods, I mean case studies by the United Nations on the same issue can be the second method, research method, apart from literature review. Could also talk about, give the reference of some other prominent researcher or some authentic report published by some organization could be really very much effective, but that is a weakness, that it carries only literature review, one method of secondary research. No interviews, no surveys or questionnaires, only one method is given in whole of the extract. It is the weakness that it carries only one method. So very few citations given, no opportunity to verify or check data regarding US and ILO report. So it means that he has given the reference of United Nations and ILO over there. As I told you, over here the United Nations, and down over here ILO's data is given, but where these reports are published, I mean the United Nations alone, the United States alone, over 100,000 retail jobs were lost in 2023. Yes, a fact is given, statistical data is given, but where this data is published, not given. So it means that that is the big flaw in this one, and the weakness is there, and it is not mentioned that the reference of this stats is not given. In the same way, look, Policymakers and international organizations like the International Labour Organization are calling for stronger regulations to ensure fair treatment of workers and sustainable job creation, where it is written. From where the researcher has taken this particular lines, no reference is given that where these lines are published or where ILO has given these concerns regarding the job loss. So it means that this is the weakness. Yes, no doubt. Reference is given of ILO, but from where? No idea. So it means that that is the weakness of this one. So data publication of US report and ILO report cannot be verified. Yes, when this is 2023, but date not mentioned, and in the same way ILO report published when, no idea. So weakness. And then assume a slow adaptation of workers without considering successful case studies. As I told you that case studies reference is not there, so it means that this is a big weakness of this whole of the argument. Lacks specific examples of countries or companies implementing effective worker protection. So it means that what the countries have done or what the companies have done or what the global organizations have done to protect the rights of the workers because of the e-commerce not given. So it means that the weakness. And other relevant responses, if you have anything else in your mind, you can put in over there. Then you that if that is relevant and it is really very much well explained and well developed with the help of certain source reference, you will be regarded and your point of view will be regarded, and that will be credited to you in the form of marks. So strengths, as I told you, the strengths are these ones. So you are supposed to explain. As you all know that this is the 8 marks question. I say if you are able to explain three really very good strengths and 2 or 3 really very good weaknesses over here, you will be rewarded with full marks out of this question. And now moving on to the to B, and if I go to the question paper first, here is question 1, 2A, and here is 2B. Jobs are being lost in the digital era. This is the statement given over here. This is the claim given over here. And we are supposed to test this claim. If we are given this claim, how can we test it? What are the methods we can use? So there are 3 different types, and it says that they consider the research methods and evidences. So previously in the previous syllabus before 2025, the syllabus used to carry regarding this particular question 3 things. Number 1, types of information. Number 2, sources of evidence. And number 3, that is the methods. But now this was the previous method. I mean, when those who were already appeared last year, that was done. They were supposed to explain this particular question in 3 phases, and they were given the types of information option over here as well. Types of information, and then evidences, and then methods. But now from 2025 onwards, only 2 things are being asked. They are not focusing on the types of information, only sources of evidence and methods. And it is the 8 marks question. So it means that if you explain these 2 sources of evidences over here, what are the sources of evidence can be? That is the expert testimony. I mean, expert opinion about that particular issue, and methods. Over here, personal testimony can also be really very much effective. I mean, your personal experience about that issue. For example, if any one of your relatives or you or your parents or whoever lost the job because of the digital technology,
So it means that if you are explaining that one, it means that you are giving the personal testimony that you personally faced that issue of um, e-commerce and its impact on the job placements. So methods, whenever we talk about methods, interviews, surveys, focus groups, case studies, so you are supposed to give the reference of interviews, surveys. I mean, for the sake of testing this particular claim given at the top, we can take the interviews of the people to find out their perspective about the issue, and we can also conduct the surveys through questionnaires, and we can get the data, first hand data, the primary research, focus groups, debates. They give you multiple perspectives. So in this way, if you explain these ones, and case studies of the authentic and reliable sources, means global organizations, and NGOs, registered NGOs. They can be national NGOs working for a country, or they can be the global NGOs working for whole of the world as well. So if you explain the evidence, expert testimony, whenever we talk about the expert testimony, so the experts, they are different for every field. For example, if we talk about jobs, as we are discussing this particular question, what can be, who can be the experts? Experts can be the company owners, managers, especially HR managers, human resource managers, as they keep the people and they fire the people. And then the economists, and financial experts. So for the sake of explaining the expert testimony in this question, evidence, for the sake of seeking the evidence for this particular claim, you are supposed to give the opinion of, for the sake of testing this claim, you can write that for the sake of gaining the evidence of this particular claim, I will conduct the interviews of the experts for the sake of seeking the expert testimony, like interviewing the company owners or CEOs or the HR managers of the companies, as they have the relevant data regarding the job placements and the hiring and firing of the people, just because of the digital era. All those who are not into the technology, they are fired from the companies by these HR managers, so they can give you the real picture that what is the situation going on. And in the same way, the economists who are conducting research on the issue of job placements because of the digital era, their interviews can be really very much effective for the sake of testing this claim. And the financial experts and even the financial organizations like IMF and World Bank, they can be really very much effective. Their data and reports published elsewhere, they can be really very much effective for the sake of testing this claim. To all these are the expert testimony related data you are supposed to explain. And then you can say that for the sake of testing this claim, certain methods can be used which are really very much of the primary research, and For that sake, interviews of the people can be conducted, so that to find out their perspective, that what they think about the loss of jobs because of the digital technology, and surveys can be conducted to find out the first-hand data. In the same way, certain group discussions and debates can be conducted in the form of focus groups to find out the issue and its impact on the people and the jobs. And in the same way, certain case studies of the global organizations like United Nations or others, they can be really very much authentic and reliable reports of global organizations or certain NGOs, which will be really very much handy for the sake of testing this claim over here given. So in this way, you will be able to explain whole of this question over here in these lines, and it will be of 8 marks. So it means that 8 marks question is of strengths and weaknesses, and 8 marks question is there of test the claim. So this is question number 2. So keep in mind that you are supposed to explain these questions really well, and do not forget to give in what? The source reference. Source reference is a must. Whenever you are attempting any of the questions, you are supposed to refer to the source. I mean, you are supposed to give a small quotation from the source to validate and to authenticate your point of view. This is how you will be able to doing this particular question. So we are done with question number 2. It has 2 parts, A and B. Both are of 8 marks. So it means that question number 2 carries 16 marks in all. So in today's lesson, we have learned that how question number 2 will be done. So in the next lesson, inshallah, we will talk about question number 3, whose argument is more convincing. And I mean that is related to source number 4, in which the argument or the perspective of 2 different persons are given, and you are supposed to analyze them, that whose argument is really very much stronger. So up till now, this is over. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe, share and like my channel and the content over there. Share with your fellows and your colleagues. So thank you so much. God bless you.